Okay, let's look at 2D. Find the total distance the particle travels from time t equals 0 to time t equals 3. So how are we going to do this? Well, the question is pertaining to total distance. So if you recall from section 33, page 195, we have a discussion about the difference between displacement and distance. And so the notes state, because I know how much you enjoy me reading, that the difference in distance between where you start and where you stop is called displacement, while distance is how far you travel between times. Okay, in this case, time A and time B. So what we're saying here is that if I decide to start walking around in a circle, so if I start walking in a circle over and over and over again, the displacement is going to be 0. And the reason why it's 0 is displacement is the difference between where you start and where you stop. So if I keep going around in circles and circles and I stop right where I began, then I'm not going anywhere. And so the displacement is 0, right? Distance is how far you completely traveled, okay? What we have here is that whenever we discuss distance, we take the absolute value. And maybe the clearest way of illustrating this is just to think of an absolute value graph, right? So here's a xy plane. The absolute value graph looks like such, right? Whereas a linear graph keeps going like such, okay? So because these values down here have a negative y value, while these values up here have a positive value, they'll cancel each other out, right? So if I went from here to here in terms of distance, if we subtracted, they would, because these are negative y values and these are positive y values, they'd cancel out. But if they're both positive, if we have them both positive, then what happens? If both of these are positive, then when we add those distances, let's just say the y values represent the distance, they're going to be the sum total. So in this case, let's say these are both symmetrical, then they would be double one of these lines, right? So that's why we use absolute value. So what do I have to do? All I got to do is take this interval, integrate it from 0 to 3, but whatever it is, I'm going to call it VT because I'm lazy and I don't want to write it all out. When I integrate it, it's in absolute value bars. So that's all we have to do. So first things first, if you want absolute value bars, then you want the mathematical equivalent of going to the gym and doing a bunch of crunches. You want abs. That was a terrible joke. I apologize. To get to this screen, this is just math. So you just hit math, you scroll over to numbers, and you put in abs. Okay? And so if you type this in correctly, it'll look like so, and you're going to get 5.3. And there's your answer. Hopefully that makes sense, and I'll see you on question 3.